closed session, and we'll proceed with the agenda with the approval of minutes. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the December 13th, 2022 regular meeting of the Board of Education as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the closed session of the December 13th, 2022 regular meeting of the Board of Education as presented.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We don't have public comment. We'll move along to the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. 1, personnel recommendations. Bridget Gilmartin, social worker. Laura Joy, science teacher for leave of absence, Westmont Junior High School. Patricia Palagi, special education outplacement coordinator, 2022-2023 school year. Camille Casey, teaching assistant, part-time. Ram Biswa, CNA, Manning, and resignations. 2, approval of additional December 2022 expenditure report. 3, approval of board travel expenses. And 4, approval of student tour, Westmont High School.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Avia?
Yes.
Ms. Steckity?
Yes.
Ms. Coyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marin?
Yes.
Ms. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Redonio?
Yes.
Next, we'll move along to our information discussion with Westmont Junior High. Presentation.
Before we start, I just wanted to say we did switch up a few slides. So there are, on the data slides, we just flushed it out a little bit. Those are the major changes that we did, okay? All right. Okay. Good evening, members of the school board, Mr. Ruelli, Ms. Cozart. I am Amy Quattrone, the very proud principal of Westmont Junior High School. And this is my incredible partner, Mike Lipinski, our assistant principal. Behind you, you will see 8 fabulous, special people in my life, and very special people to these parents out here. They're going to help, they're students of Westmont Junior High School, and they're going to help us present today. So, students, I do want to introduce you before we get into the presentation, okay? So I am going to say your name in order of your presentations, okay? So Zach Cunningham, you can stand up when I say your name. Giselle Sanchez. Annika Berry, Xavier Roddy, Emily Slowinski, Evie Engstrom, Kesha Biswanith, and Rashida Abulela. We also have Vincent Wilcomen, who is going to be with us tonight, but he's in wrestling, something in wrestling. He's a big deal in wrestling, so he couldn't be here, so I'll read his part, okay? And also, before we begin the presentation, I also wanted to extend a very big thank you to all of you as our school board. In light that it is National School Board Appreciation Month, I don't know if you knew that, but we wanted to let you know how much we appreciate you. And our students made homemade cards for you that we'll give you after the presentation. So thank you. We know how hard you work, and your service does not go unnoticed, and we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you so much. At Westmont Junior High School, we are Panther proud. We are proud to be a part of such a loving and warm community, and we're proud to be the nucleus of our district. We are the true middle child. I'm sure that some of you are middle children, and you know the characteristics of it. We are competitive at the junior high. Mr. Sherry, that was for you. We are great mediators. We are awesome negotiators. We're easygoing, we're innovative, and best of all, we are the glue that holds CUSD 201 together, the nucleus. We're a special place. And I know that I may be biased, but a while ago, one of our parents, Miss Chanel, she had said the phrase, Westmont Junior High School is magic in a box. And I love that. I think that perfectly encapsulates who we are, what we want for our children, and when I watch our teachers in action with them, it is truly a magical experience. So thank you, Miss Chanel. I will hold on to that forever. And it's just an incredible experience for us to teach your children. It's hard to raise 300 middle school students, 4 of you know what I mean right now, right? They're so different in the ways that they want to assert their personalities, but they also want to cuddle with you sometimes, right? You never, but they want to express their personal opinions and their beliefs, but then they also need a ride home from school from you. So they're trying to assert their independence. We accept that. We are honestly, we're middle schoolers ourselves. We understand them, as crazy as it sounds, and we enjoy every single day with them. We believe in the power of the self-managed student. That whole portrait of the graduate idea, we're behind it, and we work each and every day to attain it.
All right. Work hard. Be kind. This is who we are. This is what we model. This is what we teach every day. We know that our kids are going to be successful in life if they work hard and they are kind. Again, I'm Mike Lipinski. I'm the assistant principal at Westmont Junior High. And I just wanted to share real quick, being new to the district, that what Westmont Junior High is all about was instantly observed when I showed up on the first day for my first interview, when I walked in and I was met by a kind group of kids who welcomed me and who informed me that the committee was running a little bit behind and then they were going to have a little bit of dinner. So they had some time with me, and they didn't treat me like a stranger. They didn't treat me in any awkward way. We got to spend a good probably 15-20 minutes together where the students talked to me about Westmont Junior High and all the things that they were proud of, from their academics to their soccer team and all the clubs and activities that they have at the school. And it was really a really great first impression of the school before I even walked in to talk to any of the staff or Ms. Quattrone and answer any questions. So I want to share a story about a new student we have at the junior high. We've had several new students to us this year in the district, and certainly at the junior high as well. But one in particular student who's come to us, joining us in 8th grade. And it's not hard, it's not easy to move schools, especially kind of at the end of 8th grade, right, where you're about to transition again to a new level. This student came to us not really feeling like he had a place at his previous school, not feeling like he had a strong network of peers, and not really wanting to go to school when he woke up in the morning. And as soon as he came to Westmont Junior High, he found that network of peers. He was welcomed with open arms by our community of kids. He found his place with those kids, with athletics, and he tells us all the time that he loves coming to school. And anytime we hear about junior high, middle school kids loving coming to school, it just makes us so proud.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the benefit of a small school in a tight community. We know something about each of our students. You won't go notice when you're a student at Westmont Junior High.
There you go.
So how do we do this? How do we teach this? At Westmont Junior High, we take a student-centered approach, and we focus on academics, and we focus on social emotional learning. These are the goals we set, and every decision we make is done to increase student capacity in these two areas.
Our academic programming we are particularly proud of because we are a small school, but we do offer a lot of opportunities. You hear that all the time, but we really do. And one of those is dual language, which, as you know, we had our first graduating class last year. It was amazing to watch them go over to the high school and finish their K-8 experience with us. This year, it's also amazing for me to walk into that 8th grade class and see that it is entirely done in Spanish. It is taught in Spanish. The kids are talking to one another in Spanish. They are literate Spanish speakers. It's wonderful to see. Our instructional literacy in math we offer for students, it's more of an individualized pathway for them. If they have deficits in reading and math, we work on those with them. We look at each standard that they are deficit in, and we help them in individual ways. We have an honors literacy and math class for students in 7th and 8th grade. We have a STAR class that we've talked to you about before, but just to recap, it is where we focus on executive skills, teaching our students how to be organized, or trying to teach our our students how to be organized in the middle school. We also talk about social emotional learning within there, and our kindness in the curriculum we bring into that STAR class. It's kind of a hodgepodge of things, but it's really important for them because it gives them that time to maybe if they have some math homework that they need a little bit of help on, then they can meet with the teacher at that time. We have an E-period class, which I am very proud of. We brought that about 10 years ago into Westmont Junior High School, and it is a 15-day rotation for students. It's about 15 days, where either they are in classes that they get to choose that are non-academic, that expose them to different opportunities that the world might give them as they leave our high school. So it could be photography or yoga or ping pong. We've done Rube Goldberg machine and forensics classes. We've actually brought parents in to teach those classes. We had a nutrition class, just different opportunities for students to see things other than what's in their classes. It's also non-graded, so it gets the kids to really want to buy into them too. And then we have Fast Path Acceleration. This was new to us last year in light of COVID. We knew that we needed to change up our math intervention a bit. So instead of intervening and coming in after the fact, we chose students who we knew would need extra support before they went into the math class. So before a unit is taught, we pre-teach them in this intervention class. So that's also done in the morning at the same time as E-period. And then we also have a STEM coding class. It's AFE, it's Amazon Future Engineering, which we received a grant through Amazon. We're one of the few schools in the area to have that. And it's a coding program class for our 6th and 7th graders. So we do have new programming for the school year. The first thing that we brought in was, or we rebrought, I should say, because it did exist about 13 years ago, is our PBIS, which stands for Positive Behavioral Incentives and Supports, not interventions, but incentives. And with that, we know that our students, they thrive on feedback, specific feedback with immediacy, and they thrive on positive reinforcements. So that helps us with their behaviors to give them a specific structure and framework to work from. They know it's exactly what's expected for their behaviors from us, and we reinforce that every day with these little Panther Paw tickets that they get and then get to put in a drawing. And in the drawing, that's every Friday, they might get to pick something tangible, or they could pick something like lunch with the assistant principal, or they could also put it in for a bigger prize at an assembly. So for our assemblies that we've been instilling once a month, we have fun activities, competitions, okay, because we're competitive, competitions where the students are competing against the teachers in various ways. We just had a basketball shootout. How did that go, students? Who won? The teachers. Yes. They weren't happy. But it was a great time. It is a great time. We've done tug of war. We've done all of these different things this year to instill excitement, but also get them on the positive behavioral track through immediate feedback. So that's PBIS. We've also instilled Panther Families. I'm not going to talk too much about that because Mike's going to talk about that and the students are going to talk about that too, but that is new to us this year. Kindness in the curriculum, I mentioned that earlier. That's our new social emotional learning curriculum. And then something that I won't say stole, but borrowed from the high school. They have their ASAP time on Wednesdays where they work individually with students on different standards of need. We're going to start doing the same thing for our students. We're calling it WIN. It's going to start mid-January, and we're starting with our pilot group of 8th graders who we know need to work on specific standards to be successful in high school. So we've carefully chosen them. We're going to reach out to parents and talk to them about keeping our students on Wednesdays during that PLC time to work individually with teachers. Strategic plan, I will breeze through this because I know there are so many components on the strategic plan, but I want you to know it is on our radar. It is something we think about all the time, and the decisions that we make is based upon what is in our plan, what we have created along with you. So these 5 big areas, big ideas, the vertical and horizontal curriculum alignment, we do that through PLCs, through our faculty meetings. We are doing that constantly, and we're really upping our game with the vertical articulation between the high school. We actually just had high school teachers come in and give us some PD on things that they're doing in their classes so that we can emulate the same kind of thing and make it our own for the junior high. So we're really trying to firm up that articulation. Evidence-based grading practices, we are doing that through, you may have noticed if you had a junior high student through our Otis system, we're not only reporting out grades, we are reporting out standards too, so that you know where your student falls in that standards continuum. Valued and supported staff, we are absolutely all about supporting, and we love our staff so much. I hope that they know that. So if you're watching, staff, we love you, but we always honor them. At every PLC meeting, we start out our PLC meetings by giving Panther Paws, having each teacher give Panther Paws specific feedback to their fellow peers. We talked to them today about what they thought was special about Westmont Junior High School, and every single team of teachers had noted our relationships with one another, the relationships they have with each other. We are truly a family. It's not just us saying, we're a Panther family. We are. We feel like one. And Dr. Burasek said it best. How did she say it? Unconditional acceptance?
Yes.
Is that what she said? So Dr. Burasek said, I love that we are all in it for the good and the bad. We have unconditional acceptance for one another. And I think that shows how valued they feel with one another. Student stakeholder engagement, we are obviously always trying to engage the community within Westmont Junior High School, bringing them in, but also having our students out there in the community through SSLC. And of course, the alignment of resources, we will work with the district to make those big ticket decisions like the HVAC system. We will work with you and not do that on our own. We have been working with you. And our distinction, I have to brag about our honors too, of course. Our ISB recommendation or rating is commendable. Niche gave us the top 10% of middle schools in Illinois, or I should say we earned that from them. U.S. News and World Report, we are also in the top 10% of middle schools in Illinois. Schools to Watch National Forum, that is something that we received, a designation that we received through Ames Middle School about 3 years ago. We are up for redesignation, so we have gone through the application process this year. Ange, thank you so much for your help. She helped us with the application. She came in and met with the teachers to talk about, just give us a different perspective on how we're doing. And so we filled out the application, we were moved to the next step, and now they're going to come in and talk to us. So I might be reaching out to many of you to come in and talk to them. And then finally, our Illinois Principal Association Building Bridges Award. This is one that I am particularly proud of because it was given to us by the Illinois Principals Association in honor of the fact that we have done so much work with our community. So it's that bridge that we have created between Westmont Junior High School and the community that they're honoring, because our students are so involved with the community in so many different ways, and the community has given back to us so much. So we won this award in conjunction with the village, and so I'll be going to the village board meeting at the end of January to talk about the award and thank them for all of their work with us.
For 2022-2023 school year, we have 3 goals for our building. Our first is an academic goal, and we have set that for 60% of our students at the junior high to meet their typical growth goal on math and ELA, and that's as evidenced by the iReady assessment. So our students took the fall iReady assessment in early September. Our winter testing window begins actually next week. So they'll be testing again, and we'll be able to compare that data, check out the results, and see where we are at to see if we've met our goal. In the meantime, our teachers and our staff have been working really hard to design rigorous instruction, work with students at an individual level, deliver interventions, and analyze data in their PLCs to inform their instruction. We're looking forward to those results. The second goal we have, as Ms. Quattrone mentioned earlier, safety is a big, our highest priority in our school. And our safety goal is, by the end of the school year, Westmont Junior High will increase its score from neutral to strong in the supportive environment domain of the 5 Essentials survey. So that survey is administered in the winter. I believe the window is opening soon, and it lasts a couple months. So we've taken our data and analyzed it from last year. And some of the things we've been doing in the meantime to try to impact that is adding security cameras inside the building. So we currently have 5 cameras that are in our hallways, which are helping us proactively deter negative behaviors, as well as providing help to identify what's happening if we do have an incident that does occur. We have more cameras slated for installation in the outside of the building, grounds and parking lot, And we've been actively discussing our next highest areas of need for that, which would be like our commons and our locker areas. Additionally, something new we implemented this year are bathroom zones. So just kind of taking a look at the layout of our school, looking at where kids are throughout the day, and designating which bathrooms serve which classrooms. And that's to hopefully cut down on overcrowding and make that, again, a safe place for kids. Our MTSS team has designed cool tools, or otherwise like a building-wide refresher lesson to respond to behaviors that we're seeing when we analyze our behavior data twice a month. Lastly, students have been given a safety survey, and that's in our Panther families, which we'll talk about in a little bit more detail, but we've taken the questions from the 5 Essential survey related to safety and the supportive environment, and we administered that to students in our Panther families with some discussion in the fall. We did it again in the winter, and we are having some really good conversations with kids about our school community, about our relationships with teachers, about our relationships with our peers, and about our feeling of overall safety. So a couple of things to highlight from that is, since the beginning of the year to winter, we did see a 4% increase in how safe students feel in the bathrooms at the junior high. 93% of our students agree or strongly agree that they feel comfortable with their teachers. 92% of students agree or strongly agree their teachers treat them with respect. 94% of students feel safe with their teachers at school. Lastly, we have a climate goal, and that's by the end of the school year, our junior high will see a 20% reduction in suspensions as compared to last year's behavior data, as evidenced by the incident data we keep in Skyward. We're actively monitoring this goal through our data team and our MTSS team, and implementing restorative practices, proactive measures such as the cool tools I mentioned earlier previously to help impact this goal along the way. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of the academic data now. If we start with the 2022 IAR data, just a kind of overhead snapshot. In ELA, we exceeded state scores in all 3 grade levels. And in math, we exceeded state scores in 7th grade and 8th grade. This chart shows 2022 math IAR data last year in blue and this year in the red color, so we can see that comparison. So while we exceeded the state percentage in 7th grade and 8th grade, we do see that there's improvement in 6th grade. And so as we talk with the department, we talk with the teachers, something we've identified is the curriculum, the READY curriculum that's been implemented 2 years ago. Last year was the first full year that was implemented with kids in seats in classrooms all year long. So one of the things that the feedback that we're receiving is that while that curriculum is very good, it's got good content for kids. One example is like word problems are very good. However, the program is adaptive, and that's really great for the individualized instruction for kids. However, our kids when it's adaptive may not get to that more rigorous level of question that they will eventually see on the IAR test. So our teachers are recognizing that and supplementing that curriculum and making sure that those types of questions and those experiences are in front of our kids as we go through the school year and we prepare for our next session of IAR. Here is, again, a similar chart, 2022 IAR ELA data. Last year's data, the blue bar, and this year's data is the red bar. So we're really thinking about, the last few years of education and how it's been really weird. And what we want to do is we want to take this 2022 data and we want that to be our baseline, where we want to start off with, we had a consistent school year, again, with kids in seats in classrooms. And as we move forward and we're, building up and reviewing our classroom practices, reviewing in PLCs, we want this to be our baseline data moving forward, and we're going to, of course, improve from here as well.
Okay, so let's talk about our iReady data. As you know, iReady, we benchmark 3 times a year. We use it as our progress monitoring tool. as opposed to IAR, which is once a year at the end of the year, more of a summative assessment. So with iReady, I wanted to give you just a comparison of where we were at in the fall of this year and last year. So 2022-23, we were in the fall, math was at 30% of students on or above grade level, and as compared to the previous year, 28% of students fell there. Then in ELA in 2022-2023, 44% of students were on or above grade level, and in 21-22, 45% of students fell on grade level or above. So we really started both years in about the same position, right? So when this is the next slide, actually just gives you the iReady results in a different way. So we're going to flip to the next one where I'm going to talk about the meat of the data for iReady. So we have the benchmark in fall, we know where we need to go. 30%, it sounds a little scary when you hear it but no, yes, I understand that. Know that we start there, but our intention is to grow, and that's what we do throughout the year. We monitor the kids, we adjust the instruction to see growth in the end. So this is what happened with our scores. 2021-22 spring math, 43% of students were on or above grade level. In 21-22 math, 28% were on or above grade level. So we saw a net growth of 13%. Okay. Then for ELA, 53% in 2021-22, they were on or above grade level. In 21-22, oops, we have the same one. But in the year before, it was fall ELA was 45% of students were on or above grade level. So we saw a growth of 8% between the years. Okay. We know what we need to do. This is data for us. It's a benchmark data, but we are moving and changing and growing in different ways through PLCs to make sure that we are really, our goal is 60% is the building for growth, but we want that 100%, obviously. And so we are doing what we can as a team to figure out what our curriculum looks like, what standards we really need to address to make that happen. And again, we are, to borrow a phrase from Mr. Balderman, going student by student, standard by standard now to make sure that we see growth for everybody. And then the next few slides is just flushing that data out.
We're really proud of our Illinois Science Assessment data. Westmont Junior High consistently scores strongly on that, and the 2022 was no different. In 2022, we saw an increase in students performing in the exemplary category, and I know Ms. Quattrone mentioned earlier, but we credit Mr. Sherry and his competitiveness in the science department for helping boost our scores and keeping our students strong in science.
And it is science content based, but it also is reading too. So it reflects our reading abilities as well as our science content knowledge. So we are proud of these scores. And then finally, the 5 essentials. Oh, our little, do we have to click one more time? There we go, the graphic. Okay, so we are, for the past several years, we have maintained our well-organized status from the 5 Essentials organization, and that is the highest rating that you can get. So we are very proud of that. We looked at our strengths. Some of our strengths are in collaboration, parent involvement, quality of student discussions. When we look at the graphic, we notice the supportive environment, that's in yellow. That means that is the lowest of the scores that we have. So we went through that data with a fine-tooth comb to figure out what specific questions are asked. What we found is that we are scoring a little bit lower in that category, not because of the relationships or the teacher trust or things between teachers and students, but it's actually how the students perceive their relationships with other students. So that is what we decided we really need to focus on this year. And that's why we created the Panther Families, which I know Xavier is very anxious to be talking about soon. So I will move on from there.
And this list just highlights some of our SEL programming. We're going to talk about a few of these in more detail coming up with our students. A couple of the highlights we're really proud this year. Ms. Quattrone talked about it earlier, to bring back our all-school assemblies the first time since COVID. And our assemblies are about community. Our assemblies are about school pride. They're about student recognition. They're designed to further connect students and the teachers. The students have input on our assemblies. They help us design the activities. The tug of war, the shootout the other day. And I think the teachers are 3-0 on all of our activities that we've done. Is that right? You guys won tug of war? I don't remember that. I remember, my memory is clear that the teachers. So. And these are a couple of things that I think really make Westmont Junior High stand out from other schools. And a lot of what we talked about today really comes down to Westmont Junior High being a really special place to learn and go to school and become a mature person. So Panther Families is one of those things. The mentorship program, the service learning commitment. So I don't want to take away from Xavier's thunder, so he's going to talk about Panther Families. We've been teasing it the whole presentation so far. But really, again, it's about linking students to teachers. It's about relationships. It's about feeling good when we come to school. So at Westmont Junior High, we have the 3 pillars of expectations. They are to be responsible, to be respectful, and to be safe. That's what we strive for every single day. Students are recognized on a daily basis for meeting these expectations. We talked about that earlier with the Panther Pause and the reward system. Additionally, this year, several students have been awarded what we've called the 3 Pillars Award for exceeding these expectations. So I am now proud to introduce you to Zach, who is one of our award winners, who's going to share more about the incredible actions of other WJHS students who have been recognized with a 3 Pillars Award.
Hello, I'm Zachary Cunningham, and I am honored to be part of the 3 Pillars award-winning group of students. Each of us exhibited a show of being respectful, responsible, or being safe towards our peers and community. Not shown in the picture first is Janelle Sanchez. She helped organize letters for our Veterans Day letters campaign. Annika Berry, shown in the picture above, acted in a safe and responsible manner by helping one of her peers during a health issue. Vincent Wilkham, Alex Meyer, and Xavier Roddy, pictured above, also helped a fellow peer in need of a medical attention. And finally, Ms. Quattrone presented this award from me for attempting to help a peer conflict between 2 people to help my friends.
Excellent, thank you.
And again, Vincent isn't here, so I'm going to read what he wrote. At Westmont Junior High, our first expectation is to always be responsible. Being responsible means always being prepared and having a positive attitude with both our peers and staff. We report negative behaviors when we see them. We are reliable and we complete our work on time. When we say we're going to do things, we do them. We keep our promises.
Our second pillar of expectation at Westmont Junior High is to be respectful. Being respectful means taking care of others. We make sure that we treat people, our belongings, and our school space with kindness and love. If we find that we are not being as responsible as expected, we check each other by asking how we can rethink through our choices. To be a Panther means we are a family and we treat each other with respect.
Our third and final pillar at Westmont Junior High School is all about safety. Ms. Quattrone and Mr. Lipinski tell my fellow Panthers and I very often that safety is their #1 priority for us. Being safe here at Westmont means being safe physically and mentally. Physically safe here means keeping hands, feet, and objects to yourself at all times. We do not run in the building, we stay in our seats during class, and we help our peers when they are in need of assistance. We keep each other mentally safe by assisting each other in class, using kind and compassionate words to one another, and making sure other people are being nice to others. While all 3 pillars are extremely important, safety is and will always be the #1 priority for all students at Westmont Junior High School. If a student does not feel safe at school, then that student cannot learn effectively. Thank you.
New this year is our Panther Family Time. Once a month, our teachers, administrators, and social workers serve to us as members in small group. A Google form was sent out to both students and teachers at the beginning of the year, asking us questions for our interests outside of school. Families were then formed by matching 10 to 12 students. with teachers who have similar interests in common. During this dedicated time, we focus on relationship building, personal connections, and team building. So far this year, we've had 4 Panther Family Hours, and each hour was spent in a different way. Our first meeting, we named our Panther family and made a crest. Then, working in peers, we interviewed each other in front of the class by asking 10 questions about our classmates. This helped us to see people for who they were outside of school. During another Panther Family time, we had the opportunity to listen to veterans speak and ask questions about their experiences. The Panther Family program has been a fun and unique experience for Westmont Junior High students.
While we just listed our 3 pillars of expectations, which are really important to us, our SSLC program and community outreach is also very important to the well-being of our students and to shape us into being the best versions of ourselves. For those who aren't aware, Westmont Junior High is an awesome program in which students must complete 36 service hours to participate in the end of the year celebrations for 8th graders. Students can earn these service hours by well serving. What I mean by this is serving in any way to give back to the community. We even have a club card called Rotary Early Act, which is run by Ms. Cozen. The purpose of Early Act is to give back to the community in fun ways while earning service hours. Some of the places students love to volunteer at are our food pantries, the library, the park district, Feed My Starving Children, and many more. I personally love this program because it allows students to feel needed and helpful with a great reward at the end of 8th grade. Students can attend the 8th grade dance along with the graduation ceremony, but I think the greatest reward is the knowledge you can only earn by helping others.
We are very deliberate in finding out who needs our help in the community and reaching out to them. Our student council and Early Act clubs host fundraisers and drives to raise money and donations for causes that are in need. For example, we wrote letters to veterans on Veterans Day, raised money for the Ronald McDonald House through our Mad Hatter fundraiser, hosted a food drive for the West Suburban Food Pantry, and starting on January 17th, we will be hosting a shoe drive for those in need that will run until March 31st. As Panthers, we are fully committed to helping others and are happy to do so whenever we can.
Thank you, Mrs. Quattrone, Mr. Lipinski, and thank you all for this opportunity. Good evening. My name is Keshav Viswanath. The Student Council of Westmont Junior High consists of a team of students elected by their peers who act as the voice for all of the students in our school. It is a student body that represents Westmont Junior High and shares ideas with staff and students. We represent students and their ideas and work as a team together to make the school experience better for all of us. Why is the Student Council important to Westmont Junior High? Well, Student Council helps organize fun events and activities for the students to enjoy and make school enjoyable, which motivates students to be successful. We also organize fundraisers to get students involved in more group educational activities and community events. Additionally, we suggest changes for our school to make it more convenient, more efficient, or more organized for the students and staff. Our main focus this year is to promote anti-bullying. We are creating awareness for students, helping maintain a kind and helpful community within the school, and are helping new students with knowing the right and wrong choices to make. We are currently surveying a variety of ideas to implement this into the normal school routines. Some of these ideas include info on anti-bullying in STAR classes, a new buddy system between 8th and incoming 6th graders, and arranging activities for students to get to know each other better and form new friendships. Now, my friend Rashida will talk a bit more about our student council.
We have provided Westmont Junior High School with unforgettable events that our students not only enjoyed, but learned and had so much fun in the process. We helped to foster an environment of love, acceptance, and a great way to have a nice time. The students enjoyed and helped out in a plethora of events such as Trick or Treat, Mad Hatter Day, food and shoe drives, Spirit Weeks, and the most lively assemblies a middle schooler could ask for. In the near future, we plan to host more drives, assemblies, and other events. We'll present our students with more opportunities to volunteer and aid others in a variety of ways. Furthermore, we're soon presenting our trademark event, Pizza Wars, on March 15th. These are just a few of the ideas we have to make our school fun, helpful, and productive. To sum it all up, Westmont Junior High School has got the world to offer for its students, and will stop at nothing to keep them entertained, educated, and safe.
I didn't pay her to say that, I promise. Amazing job. Another round of applause, please. For all. You did a fabulous job. We know it's not easy to stand up here and speak in front of everybody, so thank you, and it's much appreciated. They wrote that, and it was their words, right, guys? And they did a nice job presenting. Okay, so here we go. We are almost done, I promise you. Our future, of course, we want to talk about, what's important to our future, of course. We talked about this last year, but we put it on hold. We are looking to do esports in the future for our kids. It's what schools are doing now. It's the really cool thing for kids, and they're super excited about it. So esports is coming to Westmont Junior High School. We want to incorporate more STEM activities, more opportunities for tech education through our industrial arts class, maybe open up that a little bit more to maybe an after-school club. Video announcements, we wanted to do that this year too, but we didn't get to that. That's going to be part of our whole esports, technology, sportscaster. We got big plans for our kids. Trades exploration, of course, and then our E-period, we want to have more of the community coming into our school to help teach our children. And then, of course, that articulation piece, always important to us, and something that we're going to always strive to be better at. And then finally, I'd like to close out. I hope that you got a greater understanding of who we are at Westmont Junior High School and what our core commitments are and just how much we do love your students. So I want to sign off by saying, before you ask questions, this is how we end the announcements every day. And so you are amazing. You are loved. We believe in you. You make yourself a great day. Thank you. So we'll open it up to questions, but is it okay if I let the children leave before we do that? Would that be okay?
Yeah. Can we just say one quick comment, though?
Yes, please.
I mean, I just want to personally say how impressive that group of students, this group of students is. Like, sincerely, takes so much courage and leadership to come to a meeting like this and stand up and speak. And so I just wanted to say congratulations to all of you for the poise and leadership that you showed tonight.
Thank you so much. Agreed.
So,
Thank you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
thanks, guys.
I'm gonna come to every meeting. I love you guys, but it was fun.
Thank you, parents. We appreciate your support. Thanks. We have some students that are in sports right now, karate, and so I wanted them to be able to make it.
He's earnest, yes. Good.
Bye. Thanks.
Anthony snuck out.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since you've been a staple in our building for so long. What kind of improvements or differences have you seen since you guys are implementing more SEL?
That's a great question. So there are so many, but let me just focus on this year. Okay, so just within the 6-month time period, when I used to bring students into my office to talk to them, because I survey them all the time informally, and I want to get to know them and have that mentorship relationship. Just from the things that they're saying in my office, in the way that they're explaining how they feel at school, it's vastly different. And I hope that's because of all of the things that we've been doing and implementing, the Panther families, the mentorships, all of those things. It could be also that they're back in school, and they've been back in school too. I recognize that, but it's a different feel with the kids, and it's different speaking to them when they're talking about how they feel safe in school and how they feel loved. I know that some of the kids tease me, but in their classes, when I say the announcements, they will mock me sometimes. But also, I like to think, they just, want to, say our announcements with us, right?
Mocking everybody.
Middle schoolers. Exactly.
Sounds like teenagers to me.
Right. But they have said to me and written me notes, it's so nice. I thank you so much for saying that you love me. It must take a lot for a principal, things like that. And that's not just from me. That is exuded from all of the teachers. So just that anecdotal story tells me that we're making changes for them. Thank you.
Yeah, and that I've talked to my wife about that. It's different times from when I was a kid, because I could see like the various principals, the schools, they do love the kids, and when I was a kid, it wasn't like that. So I probably wasn't lovable. So, but it's different. It's
different. Right.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
This is very for the junior high school, but I just want to understand iReady a little bit better.
Yeah.
So if I'm reading what you presented, if you don't mind, can you go back to the slide where you were comparing year on year? Or no, excuse me, period on period. So fall to spring.
Yes.
Okay. So is this a correct read of when you get to the slide? Is this a correct read that in the 2021-2022 fall?
Yes.
Fall is the beginning of the school year. And
Correct.
28% of the students entered into their grade level at grade level or above.
Correct.
Meaning they were already at grade level.
Yes.
And by the end of the school year, 43%.
Yes. Yes.
Just want to make sure I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. You may have said this already. You stated how you get some of the high school teachers, kind of looking at our small district and the advantage we have to be so close-knit, and that we have high school teachers coming in to the junior high, even at PLC time.
Yes.
Do you guys in turn do that with the elementary? Have you started?
We have not done that, but the same teachers that came from the high school, they went to the elementary and also did professional development for them, so we will be articulated all the way through. Mm-hmm. So big shout out to Brian Roach and Anna Jakubowski, because they just came to our Institute Day and taught us like a wealth of knowledge, and they're really getting us on the right track to be cohesive. Mm-hmm. K-12.
I asked because I know some of, I guess even understanding from what's asked of a student, even from elementary to the junior high, and I understand even starting to teach that organization piece, which I think they do, but it's just like getting that understanding. I think that would be.
Absolutely. We do meet in the spring, 5th grade teachers with 6th grade teachers. We have, sheets on every single student that we talk about, everything from executive skills and how organized they are to where they're at in the standards. So we also have that as well.
And then I had another question, and this comes from some of my interest in some of the topics at our conference, as they talk about different things, and with the disciplinary part that you're looking at. And do you even kind of examining where we are as a district, just amongst like our different groups? Do you look at what's happening in behaviors from different income levels, from different ethnicity, race, and how we handle that? Are we doing anything that could be improved upon, and how we deal with disciplinary issues and that type of thing? So do you guys get kind of down to that nitty-gritty also?
We do. We can desegregate the data in any way that we want, in any shape, form. What I love about there are many things that I do, but he came to us with a restorative background practice. Like, he's really great at it. And so he moves the students through a whole process. It isn't just you get a suspension, you get a detention based upon what's in our handbook. It is really restorative in nature. So if the student does need to talk to another student, he sits down with them, he brings in the social worker to mediate. If he finds that it's just a little extra TLC, then he will meet with that child after the fact. Our detention, it has changed. The format of that's changed. He's really brought in a new light to our behaviors and how we look at the data and what we do in response.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to keep you here longer, but I do have a question about the science data.
Yes.
I was really happy to see science assessment data because we don't see a lot of that, so that's exciting. My question is, does that break down by grade, or is this a total for the
we didn't
school?
mention that. It is just taken by 8th graders.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot.
So this is for this current 8th grade class or last year's?
Last year's 8th grade class.
Okay. All right.
Because we take it at the end of the school year and then we don't get the, well, actually, maybe like March-ish, April-ish, and then we don't get the data for a long time. So
Okay.
this is last year, yes.
Okay. And I'm going to speak a little bit as a board member and a little bit as a parent right
Sure.
now. But I do have some concerns about science for the 7th grade class because they have had, some gaps in consistent and experienced teachers.
Yes.
And so that's the reason I asked the question, if we have any assessment data for that class in particular in science, and to see whether, they have stayed.
To see if they're on track.
Yes, to see if they're on track.
Yes.
So I don't know if you can answer that question now.
I can speak a little to it if you'd like. Our science department is meeting in PLCs and they are aware of that. It's something that's been on their minds. And so they're moving things around, they're adjusting things in their curriculum to make up for that fact. But please know that the person that we just hired has a very strong background in science and was an instructional coach as well. So we know that this next semester, the kids will be in good hands. She also knows where they came from. So like what they've been doing this past semester, and she is incorporating, that with, and looking at the standards to see where the kids are, to know if she needs to do a little bit more with that this semester.
That's great, and thank you for addressing that.
Yeah.
And then overall, my last thing is that I would love to hear, and I have to keep it, but I would love to hear, as a parent and a board member, the goals of the dual language and what plans we have for that program now that it's like we're kind of full swing with full classes all throughout, but especially in a junior high, like what do they see it's working? Basically, I know we're doing an audit maybe of that program, so.
Yes. We are
I
waiting.
look forward to getting.
Yes, we are anxiously awaiting the audit, and we are going to, whatever, they suggest, we're going to see how we can make those improvements in our program. We're pretty excited about it. We're looking forward to somebody coming in and saying, oh, this is great, or hey, you need to improve in this way.
All right.
Somebody else?
Great.
I thank you so much. I love
Sorry, our presentation is so long, but we love our school.
Good job. No, great job.
Thank you.
It's great when the students are involved, so.
Yep,
Yeah, the kids are the highlight.
We like spending time on this.
I said to Carlos, come back to every
This
meeting.
is good stuff.
It's a fun one.
So cute.
Exactly.
So
I'm like
fun.
a proud mama bear.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And the next part is your thing. I'd love to hear. We have the junior high HVAC update.
Nobody wanted to stay to find out about.
I know.
All right.
I mean, you had climate in there.
Yeah,
It was,
I thought
it was
that was
wide
it.
open for a
Right.
joke there.
That's true.
Wide open.
So at the last board meeting in December, we went through the projected timeline of the HVAC system, but I wanted to give a little update now that winter break has been completed and there was work done at the junior high. So for the staff and the community, the primary focus of the project is to replace the current HVAC system. However, there are additional work that needs to be done at the junior high, such as replacing the hallway lights, hot water system, gym air conditioning, and building automation system. So that all with the HVAC will be completed by August. So in September through October, submittals were sent for equipment and lead times by Helm Mechanical. On November 23rd, before Thanksgiving, Helm Mechanical went through the junior high marking and laying out anchors for classroom water supply. And the reason for that is to accomplish a lot of work during winter break when no one was in the building. So winter break. So the initial plan was to run the main hot water and chilled water supply lines through the classrooms. However, the supply lines were not installed due to routing issues in the one wing of the school that they did not see it before winter break. However, the domestic hot water system was replaced and is online for the entire school, and then also sinks and mixing valves were installed to control the hot water. This hiccup with the routing did not set them back for spring break and for the summer construction. Here are some pictures. So as you can see, the old domestic hot water tank in the mechanical room, and on the right, the new hot water system. So it's a significant difference.
I was just saying, that is a big difference.
And the reason for it is because of the tanks. So the tanks behind held the hot water. And that was for, mainly for the showers that the junior high had and a lot of the sinks in the classrooms. However, we don't use the showers, and the response time has improved since they first installed the hot water tank. So that's why the updated smaller version is better, and you don't have the big tanks on the mechanical room.
Amazing.
And on the left, you can see the demo, one lonely tank left, but then towards the end of the winter break, you can see on the right the empty mechanical room.
Like
Huge
a
difference.
Huge computer.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Down to
Yeah.
So looking ahead for spring break, now between spring break, the plan is to have Helm Mechanical come in and pour the new concrete pads for the new boilers that will be in the area where the tanks were. Pouring the concrete before spring break is essential because it would be cured in time for installation. So it buys them the time that they need to properly finish the spring break task. Other than that, they are going to be trying to route those classrooms that they couldn't do winter break and additional items as well to speed up the process. Because June through August is the bulk of the projects for the primary focus and the secondary focus. The projected time of completion is August 11th, and they are still on track with that.
Yay.
Hey,
Good stuff.
good.
Any questions?
I mean, I guess, what is the start of the school year?
The 18th.
E 18th.
So, I mean, I guess that's, in my opinion, we're kind of cutting it a little
There's a fine.
close.
There's a daily fine.
They have fines.
So there
Okay.
there is a daily fine of $1,000 after August 11th. However,
They have a huge incentive to get
Yes.
it done by the 11th. Okay. that
correct.
makes me feel
Yeah,
better.
and the spring break for the additional items is really to push whatever they can do to speed up the beginning of June.
Yep, okay. All
We're
right.
going to use the extra space in the mechanical
So,
room for now.
no snow days, no cold weather days.
Bunch of activities.
And I mean, I guess the Nelly negative side of me says maybe we need a contingency plan. But we can track it and see how it's going and make sure we're staying on plan and,
So far,
we've learned how to be really flexible.
So we're fully on track, and there's going to be communication to the building and the staff and the custodians to know the timeline, the process, especially come July and August when there's a lot of teachers moving classrooms, a lot of furniture coming and going. So we're going to constantly communicate with staff and the custodians and make sure that we're all on the same page. Each classroom is back in order so the teachers can be in and out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they going to have to do some extra cleanup this year? Because they're going to be putting something into every classroom, right?
Yes.
Well, they're taking down the ceiling tiles
Yeah.
and running the
yeah.
pipes. So the bulk of it, what they're going to do is they're going to have to remove the classroom furniture and then put everything back into the classroom furniture. So that time period will take up a lot. However, we'll know ahead of time who's changing classrooms, the new staff. So we're going to be fully prepared.
Okay, cool. Very exciting.
Very. Thank you.
Thank you.
My 8th grader's not
Thanks for the
excited. He's
update.
like, oh, they're going to have air conditioning after I leave? Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
All right, so we're going to move along to the parent-teacher conference format.
Yeah, so during the pandemic, the district held parent-teacher conferences virtually, and now that the district has returned to normal operations, there have been discussions to have parent-teacher conferences in person. So the district surveyed its parents and staff, and the 3 options within the survey were in-person parent-teacher conferences, virtual, or having parents choose the option between virtual and in-person. We received 423 responses from the parents. The parents' responses were almost 1/3 of each of the 3 options. For staff, we received 88 responses. About 62% of staff preferred virtual, and 25% indicated that parents should have the option to choose either virtual or in person. So after reviewing these survey responses, the administrative team recommends that parent conferences should be offered in both virtual and in person going forward, and complete survey results are in the board docs. So if you can pull up, that's the staff responses. So as you can see, roughly 63% decides virtual.
So is that gonna, so previously, it was a night and a day, right? Is a half day of school, and then the evening parent-teacher conferences, and then the whole next day parent-teacher conferences, which is still the timeline that we have now. But do we envision it being kind of your choice in that exact same vein, or like the night being entirely virtual and the day being virtual or online? Have we thought about that, or?
I think with speaking with even the committee that talked about this, I envision it staying the same, and you have the option in saying I will be in person, because the timing was to give parents who could only come in the evenings. So if that parent wants to come in, and if you say, oh, only the in-person ones is the daytime, you kind of take them out. So I envision it staying the same, and during that time slot, you're either on a computer or you're waiting to step in that time, so.
Cool.
I think, kind of gets around to my only question, which is, does doing it both ways, making both available, add resource need in any way?
I have not been in the communications with the principals, but I can definitely get that question from Mr. Carey and the principals.
I feel it's going to be a little rough split like that, because previously, when it was in person, parents always ran over because they wanted to talk. Now with the virtual, you can cut your time.
It still runs over.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
I think it's not quite as bad, though.
I feel like it's more awkward to end it on Zoom or Google Meet
It's
sometimes.
like, okay, gotta go.
Yeah.
Leave the meeting. It's just a rough concept altogether, all around.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I love choice. I think that's great.
Yeah, the choice is good. Yes, absolutely.
I agree. I also find it really interesting, just the raw number of 423 responses.
That was a lot of
Seems like a lot to me.
responses.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, there's nothing to do with the findings. I'm just like, holy cow.
You're like, we had a good turnout there.
Well, that just tells you how important the issue is.
Yeah.
It just tells you how important.
Impacts them directly.
It does.
How many
yes.
people it affects and how interested they are in voicing their opinion. I'm thankful that it's the case.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I like choice. I think choice is great. I think for me, I always look at like, how's it gonna look on the actual night of or the day of?
Right.
What's it gonna look like if our teachers are trying to bounce between virtual and in person, and is it making it more like what does it actually end up acting like? Or is there a better is there a way to maybe balance out or have a virtual hour or something, just because I think about literally the process of the teachers bouncing back and forth between, I have parents in my classroom behind me and I have a parent jumping onto Zoom also right behind me, and what that is gonna feel like operationally for our staff, but then also for our parents, like, I like the choice. So for me, it's like, how does it end up happening? How does it end up occurring?
I think that's
for
what,
the
like,
spring?
building level administrators and
Yeah,
teams.
no,
will-
totally.
yeah, I think
I'm
it's
just
a
saying,
really-
that's my concern
For
about
sure,
it, is that
yeah.
piece.
Cool.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, we're going to move along to the budget staffing timeline.
So attached in the board docs is the budget and staffing timeline. So as we progress through the school year and look forward to fiscal year '24, the administrative team will be discussing and meeting in regards to staffing and budgets. Staffing proposals are brought to the board in the March board meeting.
All right.
Any questions? Right. Are you reporting on the superintendent's report?
Yeah.
Okay. And the secretary couldn't make it today, so just so the public is aware.
So in the superintendent's report, which is attached to the board doc, is a explanation of the school closures in more detail. But to summarize, the district must make one decision that is best for all students. In the first day of the closure, it would be remote learning. And as we progress to multiple days, the administrative team will evaluate how day one was to make the decision going forward. All school closure information will be posted on the website. So just for the community to be updated in regards to whether or any closures. On the website, it will also be listed in regards to athletics and after school activities too for closures.
I know with Kevin not here, it'd be hard. Can this FYI be posted on our website? It is? Okay,
It is.
great. Just as a reminder, every year parents have those same questions and just a reminder spot. Thank you.
I'm sorry, and also is the website the only place where the communication happens?
I believe there's also information sent by the buildings. I can double check, but I know
I know we usually get a text normally,
Yeah, phone
but I don't know
calls,
if that's
phone
from you
calls.
guys or.
I know there's a phone
Yeah,
call
phone
that
call.
is a blast phone call from the district.
Okay, great.
Over winter break on the 24th, there was a sprinkler burst at the high school. That was in relation to the cold weather. There was minimal damage such as ceiling tiles, carpet, some office furniture. The Westmont Fire Department was notified immediately because it was a sprinkler burst. After the fire department was on scene, Carl Thorne and Jim Johnson, the custodians, went to the school and make sure everything was okay and started the cleanup. So at the district level, I wanted to thank the Westmont Fire Department for all their help, and especially the Director of Buildings and Grounds, Joe Smith, custodians, Carl Thorne, and Jim Johnson for all their help. They've worked tirelessly during this winter break for the little flood, the sprinkler burst at the high school.
Yeah. Any questions? I know we don't have Kevin here. But. We'll move along to board reports.
Well, I don't know. We haven't had a lot going on these last couple of weeks, but I just put out there, it's /parent/board report. I knew after the new year I was going to get hit with that high school stuff, but yeah, first day back to school got slapped in the face with, they're taking their graduation pictures this week, so, and getting measurements for their gowns. So just reach out to the 8th grade parents. We're all sobbing together, I know it, but January 30th is a meeting about an end-of-year celebration that usually happens every year that we're trying to keep secret for the 8th graders. But yeah, if you 8th grade parents can come out and join us, more hands make it easier to do. So that'd be great. Thanks.
50th.
Oh, yes.
April.
April 22nd is the set date for the 50th anniversary Jubilee. I can't even think of it right now. Details are to come. We have a meeting for that next week, but it is definitely set on April 22nd, and it will be at Neat Kitchen in downtown Westmont. we're hoping we get everybody to come out and celebrate with us. We'll have ticket prices soon, so.
They
but
have closed the whole restaurant.
We have.
Wow.
So like,
Matt
guys,
is amazing.
That's
seriously,
amazing.
like, the next time you're thinking about where you're gonna go have cocktails or go have dinner, have it at NEAT. NEAT has been endlessly supportive of
The school
the
district.
schools and incredibly helpful to the PTOs. And in this especially, I mean, closing down the restaurant on a weekend is like,
That's huge.
that's
Yeah.
massive. So we gotta really make up. I mean, really, it's really awesome that they're doing that. So we gotta really thank them with our sales.
But yeah, keep your calendars open for that. We're just gonna have a big old party.
I am going to mention, as Kevin has mentioned it in previous board meetings, but the consolidated general election that will occur on April 4th, 2023, we do have, I believe it's still listed as an unofficial candidate list, but we have 6 candidates from our, again, talk about the participation of our community members, but that's a statement to it, but.
And if you still want to join, you can join in as a write-in candidate, I believe, till the 2nd of February. So if you're interested in this fun.
There's no public comment, so I'm going to move to future meetings and events. The Finance Committee is meeting tomorrow, January 11th at 4:15 p.m. at South School Conference Room. Westmont Junior High PTO meeting is also tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Westmont Junior High. There's no school honoring Martin Luther King Day on January 16th. There's a Miller and Manning Monet Night, January 19th at 6 p.m. And is there something going on between next week at the high school? Okay.
That's the staff stuff.
Okay. And then our next CUSD 201 board meeting is January 24th here at Village Hall. At this point, I will entertain a motion. We do have more business in closed session. So I'll entertain a motion to enter closed session to discuss personnel issues.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Avia?
Yes.
Ms. Steckity?
Yes.
Ms. Coyle?
Yes.
Mr. Marin?
Yes.
Ms. Hoover?
Yes.
Ms. Fredonia?
Yes.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
Motion carries. We will return to adjourn. There's no further business for the community, but we'll enter closed.
Laura and Leah, did you guys just do the motion?